Hello everybody, you have tuned in to Eric Jose on Making a Murderer on YouTube. I cover virtually any aspect of making a murderer. I go over the evidence, the documents, the photos. So if you like, stay tuned, and in the future I'll have many more videos besides the one you're about to see. Hello everybody, how you doing today? We're here today doing a little quick kind of video today about something that was posted in groups the other day. Showing the reflectors on the RAV4 looking different. There was a picture of Teresa with the RAV4 where the reflectors look red, and then there's a picture of the RAV4 at the salvage yard where the reflectors look very amber, very like orange or amber. So it's enough that it caught my eye and made me go again. I knew exactly what it meant when I saw it. I totally knew what it meant. I'm like, okay, here we go. Another trick of the light, you know? Now, it could be a trick of the light. I'm not saying it isn't a trick of the light. But I gotta say, it's kind of funny, and I gotta ask the question. How many times with this RAV4 can like strange color changes be explained away with trick of the light? I don't know. Maybe it could be Kucharski's aliens. Yeah, there we go. That might explain it. Alien light. Alien light might shine differently on that green paint and on that red reflector. Hey, maybe Kucharski was onto something here. So, having made that little bit of fun at Kucharski's and extraterrestrials' expense, essentially, yeah, I can see that it could be a trick of light. Could be. It's just kind of to the point of like, geez, dude, how many times can trick of light explain something? I mean, before it just begins to become a weak excuse. I don't know, but I still think it would have been a lot of trouble for them to go to plant the RAV4. So I'm going to be having to do some light experiments, a little bit more, experiments on this, to see whether or not I can produce orange from a red reflector. So anyways, you'll see in the pictures here that I'm about to show you, you're going to see, first of all, what Teresa's reflectors looked like at the salvage yard, and then compared to what they would look like normally, like in the picture where she's standing beside the RAV4. You're going to see that they're just like a very dark red. Then at the salvage yard, it's a fairly deep amber, a pretty deep amber. So we're going to see those here, and then I'm going to show you some pics that I took last night of some reflectors that were basically, right where a very high sodium lamp, high wattage sodium lamp was shining, and therefore was throwing a lot of light. Very similar to what they would have been using at the salvage yard that night. They would have most likely been using like halogen lamps, the kinds that, probably they were on stands where they had like two of them on a stand where they're like 3 feet away from each other, and they probably set a few of those up around, to light the whole area up. That's most likely what they would have used. That's what most people would use in that situation. Manitowoc and Calumet are not most people, so I could be wrong, but I think it's a probable guess that they were probably using halogen lamps. So I'm going to go ahead and play with it. I'm going to go out to the desert because I'm a city boy here. There's a lot of ambient light in the city that could be throwing it off and maybe preventing it from looking as amber as it did out at the salvage yard, because clearly there in Wisconsin where the salvage yard is, it's a pretty rural area. Not a lot of big city lights anywhere around, so there isn't as much light pollution there as me as a city boy would be encountering. So when I go out to the desert in the near future and stuff, when I get away out there where it's away from any kind of light, that can bleed over, and basically light pollution is what they call it. Away from that, I'm gonna try it at a couple different phases of the moon. Try it when it's like full, when it's like half, and when it's like, maybe like quarter moon or something like that. Try and, see how it looks on those, because that could be a factor. You never know. I want to try it with the lights from different angles, and moving the camera around. See what's up. See if I, and if we can get that color of amber, then okay, it's debunked. No big deal. But I just still had to make this video because I just wanted to have the fun of, of just saying, oh really, here we go again with trick of the light. So I mean, we need to figure out how much trick of a light, how much the trick of light can really explain. And anyways, we'll see. It's like I said, it's very plausible that this could be just a trick of the light. But it's just funny that it's now two different things that it's talking about. And I'm going to show you in this video that you're going to see Teresa's vehicle, and it's clearly an evergreen color. And I'm going to show you the color chart for the RAV4 models from the year that her vehicle was, and the colors available. And the teal paint is different than the green paint. The green evergreen, or it's called emerald jade or something like that. It's very dark green, like an evergreen, like Christmas tree color. And then there's the teal. The teal is more like a turquoise color. So very different colors. And and like I said again, her whole family said the thing was green. Everybody, friends, family, all of them. The search flyer said they were looking for a green RAV4. The Wisconsin DMV. Okay, now think about that for a second. They would have a color. They would have a record of what color this thing came out of the factory, right? Why would the freaking Wisconsin DMV be calling it green if it was blue? I mean, these are just weird questions. So I bring these things up because they just seem odd, and so therefore it just makes one wonder. I am not saying that they switched. I'm at this point in time not saying for certain that the RAV4 was switched out. I am just saying I can't rule it out completely because this just seems odd. Too many times is the trick of the light being, coming into play. But, we'll reserve judgment and we'll see. Maybe it is a trick of the light. Okay, so here we see a picture of Teresa standing next to her RAV4. We see that reflector is clearly red. And then we look over here. This is when it's at the salvage yard on the night of the 5th. And we see that those things look very amber and very orange. Well, it's actually only one. They just blew it up there a little bit. But so we see that reflector just looks very orange or amber. And that's, the interesting thing here. Also, pointing out the color just while we're here. You see the color of the RAV4 when Teresa's standing next to it. It's very green, very evergreen, that emerald jade, like they were talking, you're going to show you later. And then look at the one at the salvage yard, and the light has played such a difference that it suddenly has now become a teal. That's a separate color that you're going to see on the chart. So just wanted to point out that color difference. Once again, not saying for sure that the RAV4 was swapped out, but these are just some oddities that don't sit well with me, and so I like to revisit them occasionally. Okay, so this is a picture of a reflector I took of a reflector at night with a very bright light behind me. And we can see that reflector, it still really looks red. It's two-toned, which is another thing about reflectors. It's hard to get the light to shine on them perfectly without having them look like split like that. So you can see here, the color gets a little different, but it's not, it's not quite the same. And like I said, it's hard to get a reflector to, first of all, get exactly the right, angle of light on it, and for it to be shining equally on the reflector so that it doesn't do like what this one's doing here. One side is lighting up much more than the other. Now, the other thing about these reflectors is that the other one and this one, even though they kind of look like they're maybe getting less red, but they still look like mostly red, like a red orange. The ones in the picture of Teresa's RAV4 at the salvage yard look very yellow orange, which is why I say it approaches amber. So it's just in my opinion that level of amber that we're seeing on the RAV4 there at the storage yard is more of a yellow orange. And so far, I was only able to get like a red orange. So, I don't know. I'm just still a little bit skeptical as to whether or not the red can really come out in that, in that deep of an amber. So, I'm going to do some more experiments on this. But I'm going to go ahead and bring up what I was talking about now about the colors for the RAV4. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. You're going to see that there are two different colors on this color chart. One of them is a dark green, and one of them is it says like teal or something like that. I'm going to show you it right now so that you can see that there's clearly a dark green color that year, and there was clearly a teal color that year. And so it's just one more thing that stands out to me when I look at a picture like this that makes me just go, wow. I mean, seriously, how much can a trick of the light explain? Sometimes I just wonder. All right, so here we see, this essentially tells us what colors were available for the RAV4 that year. Okay, you see right there, that's the color that the car looks when Teresa's standing in front of it. That is a completely different color, which is what the color looks like when it's at the salvage yard and at the crime lab. So, I'm not saying that it isn't a trick of light. I'm not saying that definitively. I'm just saying that these things seem a little bit odd, especially when you see something like this that tells you the colors of that year. So, that's about it, really. I've always found these color changes leading to the excuse of that it's a trick of light to be somewhat unsatisfying as an answer, but I mean, it could be. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying that I need to do some experimenting on how the light can really act, and I'm going to do some experiments with light on the reflector to see if we can get orange out of a red reflector at night. Then fine. I'm fine. I'll let go of the reflector thing, whatever. But as it stands right now, it's just one more thing that looks like it shouldn't, that is being explained away by a trick of light. So, I'm sorry. Had to throw in my little alien light joke in there because, I just love bringing up Kucharski and the aliens any chance I get because it just cracks me up. So, that's where we stand on this. So, like I said, I'm not saying definitively that the RAV4 was switched out by law enforcement or that something happened like that. I'm just saying that I can't say it didn't happen. I can't say that there wasn't something strange going on because it is odd to me that you saw the color chart. When Teresa's standing in front of it in that picture, it looks evergreen, like a Christmas tree. When you see it at the salvage yard of the crime lab, it looks turquoise or teal. Okay, that's it. So, that's all for this video. Really, I mean, don't go off saying Aircose said it's been swapped. I'm still gonna do some more experiments on this because I am just not satisfied. I'm not satisfied completely yet. I want to do more experiments to see whether or not we can get that orange, yellow, or that amber color out of a reflector. So, that's it for now. We'll see you guys later.